All right. Hello, hello. Chainsaw Man chapter 177 just came out, and we are going to talk about it. This week is another pretty short chapter, so not that much we can talk about. But yeah, anyways. So the chapter opens with Yoru keep shooting Pochita with her finger guns. She shoots him a couple of times and sends him flying across the street. And while she's doing that, Asa looks on in concern and questions if this is what Yoru really wants to do. And Yoru start talking about the tank and the gun devil, which were born out of the idea of war. So, sorry, my throat. So, we went over this not last week, but last chapter a bit. So, the gun and tank devil aren't like physically born out of Yoru. She did not, you know, go into labor and then physically give birth to the two of them. It's more of a conceptual birth kind of thing. But anyways, Asa mentions that killing Pochita will grant Denji's wish, which she's still under the impression that Denji wants to be normal. So even after Denji's eating poo-poo speech to her, she still doesn't get it. So there's a bit of a misunderstanding going on here. And she and Yoru are still under they've been fooled by Fami still. They're still following her lies. But I would say that Yoru cares a lot less about this than Asa, so there's a chance that Yoru knows that Fami is just bullshitting, but she's just doing it for the love of fighting Pochita. But anyways, Asa questions if Yoru's okay with using her children for this. And Yoru goes full toxic parent and says that children are their parents' property. Which, checks out in this world, right? Because in this world, you can, as a parent, you can use your children as sacrifices to make contracts with devils. So she's not wrong in that sense. But anyways, Yoru points at Pochita very violently. She thinks she's in his head, and then she challenges him to fight her. Pochita is missing his right arm, I think both of them here. But Pochita bounces. He goes to look for blood so that he can regenerate. And he finds a young girl trying to find people for blood donation. The girl gets scared and runs away, so Pochita picks up a sign and continues the blood drive, but for himself. And this is probably the cutest panel of the series so far. But we get into a bit of a question about Pochita's rules, ethics, morals, and how much he is in control of his own body here. Because Pochita, if he really wanted to, right, he could have just killed the girl or other civilians and taken their blood. Just, out of sheer force. He don't have to beg for blood in the middle of a street. So what does Pochita? Is there a consistency to how Pochita behaves? And the answer is maybe. Because the only definite rule that we kind of know of him so far is that he will help people that ask for it. No questions asked, right? Because when Makima asks for help, he helps her, even though she was hurting Denji before that. So, my interpretation is that no matter who you are, if you ask for help, he's going to help you. He might kill you afterwards, but he will help you no matter what. And does he kill innocents? And before we talk about innocence, I think to Pochita, if he needs to save you from someone, then the said someone are not innocent anymore. Because let's take a look at the human beings that Pochita's killed so far, in his first appearance at least. So when Kobeni asks for help, right, Pochita, he goes into the restaurant and he kills a handful of guys. He kills the customer that runs for his life. He kills the beef, the burger man. He kills lettuce. He kills the waiter. And then he kills the manager. So, in this case, I think you can argue that because Kobeni is asking to be saved from her coworkers, all these kills are potentially justified in Pochita's mind. Maybe. He maybe not the customer, but I think the idea is that anyone, like the entire restaurant, is causing harm to Kobeni. So anyone in that restaurant is like free game. He later kills the devil hunter that tries to save Kobeni. So you can maybe say that's self-defense. He may have killed the ice cream man that was the driver of this ice cream truck. Possibly. You don't see a body or like any blood. So you could say that. You can maybe say that Pochita just happened to cut up the car as he's reaching for the ice cream. But on the other hand, Pochita later reveals to Denji that he didn't intend to kill anyone that, because the rule that Makima interpreted is that he will help you and then he will kill you. But according to Pochita, he just wanted to hug them afterwards. Which, it makes sense. It shows like a compassionate side, but at the same time, after like the first couple kills, first couple hugs, you would think that Pochita, knows better than to do that. So the fact that he keeps doing it over and over kind of shows at least that he's very selfish. Which is, a contrast to what he just did in like not killing this girl and then politely asking for blood. So it could be that Pochita also developed as a character in that once he feels Denji's hug, he no longer feels the need to like be as selfish. I don't know. There's also Pochita just eating things. I think he knows how his abilities work now. Maybe he always did. So it's also worth asking why he ate all the devils a couple chapters back. But these are questions that we don't really have a definitive answer to as of now. So we'll move on. We go to America. We go to Texas. That's where King of the Hell is from. But anytime we jump to Texas, anytime we jump to America in this series, nothing good happens to the Americans. So last time, like, everyone got their lifespan cut by 1 year. And this time, about 400,000 guys and gals got both their index fingers removed. So that's 800,000 index fingers missing. I had to do I struggle with that math a little bit, not gonna lie. But the fact that Fujimoto he has this National Pistol Association, which is like the fictional version of our NRA. So the fact that this exists, I think, validates a lot of what we were talking about the past couple of chapters, in that Fujimoto pays a lot of attention to not just world politics, but like a lot of American politics too. So I think there's a lot of references that maybe I'm not looking too deep into, because sometimes I think I'm just overthinking some of the things, but after this, maybe not. But anyways, the guys and gals loses their fingers, and we cut to the Statue of Liberty. Yoru poses like the Freedom Lady, and then she pulls her trigger finger, and the face of the Statue of Liberty begins to crack. So, again, I don't really think there's like an obvious connection between the Statue of Liberty and guns. I guess you can say like, Statue of Liberty, America, freedom, guns, but that's a bit of a superficial connection. I think an alternative explanation is the name of the Statue of Liberty, because in Japanese, the Statue of Liberty is translated to Jiyu no Megami, or the Goddess of Liberty, with Jiyu meaning freedom, liberty. If you guys watched Attack on Titan, that's like the second opening, Jiyu no Tsubasa, like wings of freedom. So Jiyu, freedom, liberty. But gun in Japanese is pronounced Ju. So I think the idea here is that if you pronounce Jiyu really fast, it sounds like Ju. So in this case, the Statue of Liberty would be Ju no Megami, which would be the goddess of guns. And that's probably the most concrete explanation we got. I tried to read the editor notes on the end of a chapter in Japanese to see if it tells us anything. Not really. It just says like the symbol of freedom is crumbling and being broken. So not really sure what's going to happen here. I think most people predict that the Statue of Liberty is going to transform into a big gun. And yeah, that's probably going to happen. If you compare like the poses, you would think that because she pulled her trigger with this hand, the flame, the torch that the Statue of Liberty is holding, it's gonna just burst into like a bunch of bullets. But it's a face that's starting to crack. So yeah, not really sure what's going to happen here. Pretty excited for next chapter, which is a week from now. No breaks this week. But yeah, that's about it from me for today. But let's see, comments. Your videos take too long. You talk too much about literally 4 pages. Yeah, I mean, we have only so many pages. That's what we got to do. Let's see. Hell yeah, guns. Might be guns in the statue. Yeah, yeah. There might be guns in the statue. I'm thinking more like one big gun rather than a bunch of little guns. But I can also see like in the Fujimoto world, the statue being like a secret American storage of weapons. Da, da, da. But yeah, that's about it from me. You like the yap? Thank you, thank you. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.